Did you ever wonder what would happen if the Titans in each of the Skibidi Toilet series fought individually against the strongest sets of G-Man across the entire fandom? How would these battles play out? And most importantly, which of the series Titans do you think would have the highest win counts over the G-Men in these epic matchups? Well, in order to make this video more fun, we would be randomly pitting these guys against each of the series Titans, one after the other. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. And coming up first, we have the Titans in the OG series versus the strongest sets of G-Man. Who wins? Spinning the first wheel, now we've got a completely relatable one to start up with, the Red Astro Toilet versus Dafuk Boom G-Man. Now, I believe the fight between these two is nothing new to talk about, as from their two-time clash point of view, it's undeniable that Jimmy seems to have more winning potential over the Astro. Okay, now although I know this has not been cleared so far in the series, but still, I really want to make this one understandable. Okay, and just as I mentioned earlier from their past fight experience, one could easily tell that the only two things seem working for the Astro is just basically his physical strength and speed. Yeah, despite him having a wide range of attacking materials, but still we could only see him causing no significant damage to the G-Man, which goes just to prove how extremely strong Jimmy's 5.0 version is to withstand a lot of attacks that could give his opponents a good fighting chance against him. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to tell you this. However, it could be a very long, tough fight, since besides being fast, the Astro is also completely durable, and adding the fact that he's got a strong defensive shield. But still, I believe, even though Jimmy wouldn't win this at a spot, he would most definitely win. So yeah, one loss on the Titan side and one clear win for the G-Men. However, moving on to spin the second wheel, now we have a complete one-sided fight. The upgraded camera Titan Dafuk Boom versus the G-Man Apocalypse from Dom series. Well, against other G-Men, our camera Titan might arguably kill the show. Yeah, he's quite a formidable opponent. But on this one, he's obviously no match. Yeah, this Jimmy is really a tough guy. However, that doesn't mean he wouldn't hold his own a little longer with the smaller versions of him. But he's obviously not winning against them. I mean, if the strongest sets of Dom's Titans could have it really rough with these guys back then, leaving the camera Titan then in the hands of these little Jimmies would completely be a wild one. And from their attacking strategies, honestly, you could easily tell this is not even a close fight, and in no due time, the camera Titan would definitely be defeated, now making it a second win for the G-Men. However, let's see what we've got in the next spin. Maybe our Titans could possibly be on the good side. Okay, and now we have the Astro Duchess versus the Super G-Man from the Monster Up series. Well, can the Astro Duchess pull this off on her own? Okay, let's see. Speaking of the Astro Duchess, you see, one fascinating thing about her, firstly, is the way she could operate simultaneously with different weapons. I mean, one could easily tell how extremely versatile she is, actually, both in deadly tools and insane special abilities, like her intense mouth laser blasts down to the one she could literally release from her eyes to burn down anything into ashes. Not only that, as she also has access to a very deadly magnetic and detaining claws that could be used on any opponent, regardless of their size. Also, she's not just incredibly fast, she naturally possesses the special ability to fly as well. And not gonna lie, with all of these, the Duchess has been basically unstoppable throughout her battles, that not even the TV daddy could stand in her way. However, you have to keep in mind that she's not just up against someone shown to be so powerful in the Zombieverse to have taken on and defeated the strongest sets of infected Titans, but also a guy with a good fighting style and well-rounded fighting materials that could make him stand a good footing with the Duchess. Yeah, just like the Astro, when in his X form, the Super G-Man could move at an incredibly high speed, which, if not equal, would be somewhat compatible to go head-on with the Duchess in speed. That said, this guy also is a good, skilled melee fighter. With him having his quad energy blades, he easily dominates in battles. He has an energy shield, eye laser, and on top of that, could also boost power-up levels, which completely grants him insane strength to go all out on opponents, just like a rage mode. His durability, in all his forms, is absolutely another feat of his that needs to be checked. So yeah, the Super G-Man arguably seems to have more winning potential over the Astro Duchess here, since we've not even seen how good the Astro Duchess could keep up with a worthy opponent with all the insane abilities she's even got so far. And don't forget that the Super G-Man also has a signature move, yeah, the Atomic Energy Sword Blast. When released, it does not just kill opponents, it burns them down into ashes, which obviously I see no surviving chance on the Astro Duchess's side on this one. And even the poll vote was still in favor of the Super G-Man. So yeah, he is definitely taking this one perhaps with a mid-difficulty, pushing on to the second-to-last fight as the wheel spins again. Okay, now we've got relatively weaker opponents to put against each other, the upgraded Speaker Titan from the OG series versus the Skibidi Wars G-Man. Well, in this fight, since we already know how completely less threatening these guys are in their their series? Let's do this in a relatively simple way. And yeah, remember, just as the Speaker Titan could only boast of the Soundwave in battles as his only permanent deadly move, the G-Man version from the Skibidi Wars also has not been shown so far to have any crazy weapon going for him besides his dual laser cannons. Physical strength, though. The Skibidi Wars G-Man might somewhat be considered better than the Speaker Titan, or maybe arguably relative, but in speed, the Speaker Titan undeniably slams. Durability, however, easily goes to the Skibidi Wars G-Man. Yeah, no contest. This guy really had it rough back then with the battle armor Speaker Titan, and of course still managed to survive. And speaking of fighting style and agility, yeah, this one would definitely go to the person who could actually stand on a full Titan body and make things go really crazy. Yeah, the Speaker Titan actually got this, whereas agility is also kind of plausible, seeing as he's extremely agile too, and so far it's clear that the OG Speaker Titan did actually have more winning potential in this matchup. And remember, we've not even added the Speaker Titan's supercharged state to the show, so yeah, the Speaker Titan would arguably win against this guy, but with mid-difficulty. Okay, and finally to the last matchup, we have the TV Daddy going head-on with the Maxity G-Man version. Now, although we've seen this same matchup in the Maxity series where the TV Titan completely lost to the G-Man, however, would history repeat itself now, even with the OG Titan? Well, okay, let's see. Beginning with the G-Man, yeah, and contrary to his size, he's got a massive amount of physical strength, one that allows him to go head-on and single-handedly bully the Astro and the TV Titan in the series. Not only that, unlike every other G-Man, he's got a full Titan body like that of the Zombieverse Turbo G-Man. This guy is also agile, and at the same time has access to a wide range of special abilities, namely explosive orbs, electric orbs, and a plasmatic laser core, among many others that easily make him dominate in battles. However, considering this version of the TV Titan he's up against, would all these really give him an edge here? Well, okay, let's find out. The TV Titan from the OG series is not just one of the strongest in the verse, but also easily ranks among the ones with the coolest weapons in the series. Now, being one of the strongest, he didn't just have a massive energy reserve that boosts his physical strength and all that, but he could also give energy to other Titans to perform incredible feats. Deadly detachable TV screens, an energy blade, and above all, crazy durability feats. Yeah, he's damn freaking durable, and with all of this together, I believe now that you could once again reconsider if this version of G-Man could do anything serious in this battle. So, yeah, the TV Titan easily takes the win here, though, with rather less difficult. Okay, so the G-Man easily takes the win here. Anyways, let's move on to the next epic matchup. Monster Up Titans versus strongest sets of G-Man. Who wins? Now, spinning the wheel for the first fight, we've got something completely less debatable, but rather arguably one-sided to begin with. The Red Titan Drill Man versus the Maxity G-Man version. Now, beginning with the Drill Titan, you see, this guy is actually a complete bully in the series, with his only biggest rival being the upgraded Camera Titan. Yeah, but we'll get to that later. However, just like Dom's Drill Titan, the physical strength of this guy is absolutely unmatched. I mean, we're talking about someone who could effortlessly violate the infected-based Drill Titan with his bare hands in his first fight. Yeah, just check out those underground moves right there. You could see that, right? My man could literally dig through the ground at the least moment you'd expect, and of course, when he does that, he never misses his target. In his regular form, he was able to fight and completely rip the Siren Titan in half. He gave the zombified Speaker Titan a fight experience he'd never forget. Additionally, his photon blasts are no joke. With his mechanical head, he could literally bite through and destroy anything without sustaining a single scratch. Yeah, imagine someone being so physically strong to carry out all these crazy feats, now giving out a punch. I mean, I don't need to tell you how heavy those punches could be. And finally, he is completely durable, whereas all these do not even come close to his Genesis form feats. Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss how completely unbeatable he becomes, right? And let me tell you, in this form, not even the Plague Doctor could stand in his way, becoming so physically strong that he could effortlessly use his mechanical chains to pull out two massive rocks, and not just pull them, he could still maintain moderate control over them on his opponents. Yeah, the infected TV Titan really had it rough back then. However, now leaving these versions of the Drill Titan in a 1 versus 1 fight with this G-Man, you should already know the fight would be over before it even started. Remember, as I said earlier in the video, so far it's only been the upgraded version of the Camera Titan that could go head-to-head with the Drill Titan and cause any serious damage to him in the series. So yeah, the Titans take this one with even less difficulty. However, spinning the second wheel, we have the upgraded Camera Titan versus the Skibidi Wars G-Man. Okay, now let's address this. Actually, in my last video, I have to admit I was quite unfair with my take on the feats of the Skibidi Wars G-Man. Yeah, but over time, I have actually done more research on him, which I've finally found out he is more more of a formidable opponent for the OG Speaker Titan to get past. So, you all pardon me on that one. However, it's quite unfortunate that he's now up against a particularly difficult kind of Titan, the upgraded Camera Titan. Coming back with a full power-packed upgrade in episode 42, this guy has really been a complete monster in the Zombieverse. I mean, from his rough fighting styles down to the large number of deadly weapons he has in his arsenal, his lasers were so powerful that despite how durable the Red Titan Drillman was, it completely left the latter in the dark. He also has a strong energy blade. Yeah, I've seen this effortlessly cutting through everything it's been used on countless times in the series. I mean, even dividing a Titan, whereas he also has access to a plasmatic bomb, obviously the deadliest of all his weapons. And, not gonna lie, this guy has been basically unstoppable in the series with all of this. But on the other hand, remember the Skibidi Wars G-Man also isn't one to joke with. Yeah, even though he does not rank that much better in deadly weapons compared to his current opponent, he still somewhat has what it takes to give the upgraded Camera Titan a really tough fight. I mean, speaking of Titan's durability status, that's obviously one thing that determines how long a Titan could drag on in a battle. Yeah, and this guy literally scales decently on this one. His protective shield also is not one to be left behind. So, yeah, truth be told, in terms of withstanding the upgraded Camera Titan's basic attacks, this guy is quite considerable. However, in terms of attacking potential, his lasers, electric orbs, and yeah, backshot might definitely go for him. But remember, the upgraded Camera Titan is quite a strong and durable one too for all these attacks, as although now I wouldn't totally agree that the plasmatic bomb of the upgraded Camera Titan could end this for him. Yeah, that shit could easily be escaped from. But all this becomes a story the moment we consider the current infected version of the upgraded Camera Titan against this guy. I mean, this is definitely gonna be one easy win for him. Moving on to the third matchup as the wheel spins again, we have the Super G-Man versus the Duchess Astro Toilet, same Monster Up series. Seriously, someone needs to explain why the Duchess just have to be in a matchup once again with the Super G-Man in this video. But anyways, how would this fight actually play out? Well, let's see. Speaking of the Duchess, now just like the one in the OG series, she has not appeared that much in the series either. Similarly, she possesses a wide range of fighting weapons, she's incredibly fast, and could as well release insane lasers that could easily destroy numbers of infected mutants from her mouth, eyes, and tendrils. Yeah, she really took after her mistress in every wild violation ways possible. Don't know if you catch my drift? However, leaving this girl in a 1v1 fight with the Super G-Man would be a completely easy win for my guy, unlike the OG version. Okay, you want to know why. Now wait, let me tell you. First, I'm not actually saying the Duchess isn't tough. Yeah, don't get me wrong. At least she could go head-on with the infected-based Drill Titan to an extent in her first fight, with her only significant drawback being the lack of adequate stamina or physical strength, which already gives the Super G-Man a dominating assurance in this battle. And also you have to keep in mind that besides all these basic abilities we've analyzed so far, she hasn't been shown to be able to transform into a full Titan body like the OG Duchess, automatically making her less threatening compared to her mistress. So yeah, even if Super G-Man couldn't end this with his X form, there's no way the Duchess could get past the turbo form of Super G-Man. I mean, in this form, my guy literally becomes a walking fortress with energy blades that devastate on impact. Okay, Turbo Super G-Man could definitely end this one, giving the G-Men their first win so far. However, let's spin the wheel again to see what other epic matchups await us. Now we have the Infected TV Titan versus the G-Man Apocalypse from Dom Studio. Okay, we're gonna leave this one for the Big Jimmy. I mean, that's a completely one-sided matchup of a fight. And finally, to the last one, the Infected Speaker Titan from Monster Up versus the OG Jimmy. Who wins? Okay, in this fight, I kinda think Jimmy arguably has a better chance of winning over the Infected Speaker Titan, but in order to prove that, we would only be counting on the current version of G-Man and not any form where he's kinda weak or anything. Yeah, his 5.0 version looks pretty overkill for someone like the Infected Speaker Titan to casually go head-on with or handle, since the only major thing actually going for the Speaker Titan is his durability, which is obviously kinda relative with both sides. But not only could Jimmy release powerful lasers that could cause significant damage to the Infected Speaker Titan in this form, but he is also physically strong, somewhat fast, and to top it all off, he could go untouchable for opponents while still retaining his visible presence. Yeah, Jimmy is actually way more ahead to win this one, and guess from the result of the poll vote, I believe you'll agree with me too. So in this matchup, the G-Men have 3 wins in total, while the Titans have 2. Okay, the G-Men cleared this series also, but wait, what about the Skibidi Wars Titans versus the strongest sets of G-Men? Do you think the G-Men would win against these Titans also? Well, let's see. Now, beginning with the first fight, the TV Titan from the Skibidi Wars series would be going head-on with the Zombieverse G-Man version. Yeah, seems these are the coolest guys to start things off with, actually. But anyways, how would this battle play out? Well, you see, speaking of the TV Titan from the Skibidi Wars series, you have to keep in mind that just like others, he's got all the broken weapons and traits of the TVs. Yes, I mean the rays, swords, insane core blasts, teleportation, decent durability feats, and to top it all off, crazy fighting skills actually going for him in this fight. Which, yeah, I don't need to tell you how crazy this stuff works when used on other opponents. But on the other hand, this G-Man from the Zombieverse is actually not one to joke with in battles. Yes, I mean, being one of the long-lasting rivals of the Plague Doctor and his family, he's been shown to handle way more dangerous and difficult opponents than this guy, both individually and simultaneously, and still come out victorious. As although now, just like the TV Titan excels in incredible fighting style and has access to all of these devastating weapons, the G-Toilet is far better. Yes, I mean, with the quad energy blades, my guy is literally the best when it comes to melee fights, which is somewhat one of the TV's prime skills. Okay, no context, the G-Toilet does this even better. However, the battle could actually drag on for long due to their relativity and physical strength and other things. I mean, seeing the way this guy uses his teleportation ability in battles, yeah, that could be a very tough one for the G-Toilet to keep up with in the very first place. But the truth is, the G-Toilet would still most definitely win, considering the fact that the atomic energy attack is meant to rain on opponents and not shoot at them in the sense that it could be likely absorbed, and once the G-Toilet could find a way to hold the TV Titan down still, one single use of this thing could definitely mean GG for the latter. So yeah, the G-Toilet is taking this one with a very mid-difficulty. However, moving on to the next fight, we have the Camera Titan from the Skibidi Wars series versus the Maxity G-Man version. Okay, who's going to win this one? Well, basically, I'll be rooting for the Camera Titan on this one, and I suppose you all will too. But why should we? Fine. You see, the Camera Titan we are actually talking about here is not just arguably one of the strongest Trio Alliance Titans in the series, but a Titan with a lot of OP doings across the episodes. Yes, indeed, you heard me right. Cause my guy literally one-shots enemies effortlessly across the series, and mostly with just one of his greatest permanent weapons. Yeah, the Gravity Hammer. Besides this, it's also safe to say this guy is way more durable even without looking that tanky, and just as physically strong as anything you can actually think of. He also possesses a giant energy blade that could easily cut through anything. Not only that, but this guy could also release a decent amount of core flames that could literally burn anything down into ashes. Yeah, I mean, even the infected Sonar Titan had it really rough back then, withstanding this insane core release. However, on the defensive side, he has a very powerful energy shield, actually one strong enough to absorb the lasers of the G-Toilet as if it's nothing in the series. Okay, and now, speaking of pitting this guy in a 1-versus-1 fight against the Maxity G-Man version, well, actually, you should already know this is definitely going to be an easy win for the Camera Titan whatsoever, plus adding the fact that he just got recently upgraded also. So yeah, obviously our Camera Titan is taking this one, making it a 1-1 tie between the G-Men and the Titans so far, actually. Okay. Now, moving on to the next matchup, let's see how the Battle Armor Speaker Titan could actually fare against one of his biggest opponents in the series. Yeah, the Necromancer G-Man, this time around without the Triandian's energy though. But wait, can the Battle Armor Speaker Titan really do this on his own? Okay, let's see. Now, judging this based on their last fight experience, actually, you see it's obvious the G-Toilet stands somewhat better than the Battle Armor Speaker Titan in everything. Okay, maybe not completely in everything, seeing as the Battle Armor Speaker appears to be a more flexible full Titan body type, but speaking of the major things that could actually secure a win in battle, yeah, this guy is absolutely way ahead, both in durability and insane attacking potential. I mean, he was even so strong that the Speaker Titan KJ Flex Battle Armor attack couldn't work on him, but with just one release of his electric orbs, he made the latter completely powerless back then, before finally knocking him down with his core blast. Yeah, which, if not for the help of the Triandian, it's likely that G-Man might have easily ended him right then and there. But anyways, I'll let you all decide on this one. Without the Triandian's energy, can the Necromancer G-Man defeat the Battle Armor Speaker Titan? Okay, moving on to the next fight, we have the Computer Titan facing off against the OG Jimmy. Now in this one, both Jimmy and the Computer Titan have been shown to be not just very powerful opponents in their respective series, but also very smart and strategic. Most especially the Computer Titan. I mean, going head-on with the Tri-Titan and still surviving is actually one thing. Talk more of trying to hack into his system. Also, during his fight against the Tri-Titan, even though he wasn't able to bring him down, his blasters were quite effective on the latter, which was just totally insane and already speaks volumes of his destructive potential. Now, it makes me wonder if OG Jimmy, although quite durable, could actually keep up with this level of blaster intensity for long. And adding the fact that he's from the computer race, even though it's not yet confirmed, it's still kind of plausible to admit that the computer titan could also easily create any weapon he copies. And besides all of this, I cannot really tell about the hacking. Maybe it's going to work on other titans, or maybe not. But other things I'm pretty damn sure would work well for him in this battle are his physical strength, tall stature, and durability, which, yeah, would all be a huge winning advantage for him this time around over his current opponent compared to the Tri-Titan. I mean, no way Jimmy could be physically stronger than this guy, and remember, that is actually one of his major dominating potentials in battle. Even though Jimmy 5.0 did come with a lot of upgrades, I believe there's still only so much they could do against a big brain like the computer titan. Okay, but we all know Jimmy. Regardless of how tough the opponent seems to be, yeah, this guy never gets defeated. He runs away. But what if Jimmy never gets to do that? Could the computer titan actually defeat him? Let me know your thoughts about this fight in the comments also. And finally, to the last matchup, the Tri-Titan versus the G-Man Apocalypse. Who wins? Well, for the Tri-Titan to actually stand a chance against this war machine, we would only be counting on its cosmic form. Yeah. And now regarding just how tough the Tri-Titan is in this state. With the ability to use different powers at once, he's become nearly unbeatable so far in the series actually, and adding the fact that this guy is also insanely fast to strike from multiple angles before his opponents could even get to react. I mean, also faster than what even the G-Man Apocalypse potential attacks like the missiles, giant blades, and many more could obviously hit that simple. Yeah, and even though he would still most likely take the win here, the Tri-Titan is definitely going to be a very tough opponent for this guy and his large numbers of Skibidi reinforcement to defeat easily compared to all others who've been faced against them so far actually. So, yeah, in total, the G-Men have 3 wins while the Titans also secured 2 wins, making it the 3rd series won by these guys. But let's see if the Titans in the Multiverse could possibly break the record of the highest win count. Yes, I mean, the Titans in this series are quite broken than every other ones. So, yeah, let's see.
Before we go on, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel as well. Remember, the goal is 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Spinning the first wheel, and yeah, we've got something interesting to begin with. The upgraded TV Titan from Dom Studio versus the Skibidi Saga G-Man. Well, you know what? Despite having a little experience about the Skibidi Saga series, at least with this guy's shown feat so far, it wouldn't be unfair justifying how impressively broken he really is, and been the head of the toilets just like every other G-Men in some other Skibidi series. He had been shown to take on numbers of Titans, and his turn up in these fights have totally been impressive. Beginning with his physical strength alone, the G-Toilet is undoubtedly a strong one. Yeah, and he's got some valid feats to back that up as well across the episodes. Seeing how he could single-handedly bully the upgraded TV Titan in one of the most ridiculous ways ever. However, that does not even come close to his ranged attack potencies, like the laser blasts, electric orbs, explosive orbs, and even many more attacking abilities, which makes him an extremely dangerous opponent in battles. But considering this version of TV Titan he's up against, do you really think all this would still give him an edge here? Well, truth be told, the Multiverse is very well tougher and far different from the Skibidi Saga. Yeah, no playing. And their Titans are no joke. So yeah, I'm pretty much sure none of these abilities could actually bring down even the weakest Titan you can ever think of in the Multiverse when used against them. And I could even go as far as to say, the TV Titan's aura alone could even make this guy to admit defeat effortlessly, even without being touched. I mean, take a look at the TV Daddy and tell me if this battle wouldn't be a complete bully. So the TV Titan takes this round with even a less difficulty. However, this is just the beginning, as we still have some couple of interesting matchups to cover in this video, beside these guys. So moving on to spin the second wheel, now we've got the Drill Titan from the Skibidi Multiverse versus DeFuke's Jimmy. Anyways, going through the feats of the Drill Titan after his transformation in episode 38, you could testify how clearly unbeatable the Drill Titan has become. Showcasing unmatched power and feats, he did not just get enhanced in physical strength and agility alone. His durability also becomes nearly impenetrable. I mean, shrugging off attacks and dealing with opponents that would have obliterated his initial form. But when this drill version is compared or put against the OG Jimmy, you should know it's already a one-sided battle. Although in truth, we wouldn't say Jimmy doesn't totally stand a chance against him. At least he's got some considerable durability feats, just like Male 01, and could as well survive some of the drill's photon blasts to an extent, but not when the drill decides to get serious with him and make him get some crazy JoJo punch knockdown. So yeah, Jimmy would be pretty much easy for Drill to get past. However, moving on to the next matchup as the wheel spins again, and now we have the Pencil Woman from Dom Studio versus the Skibidi Wars G-Man version. Okay, you all know what, guys. Seems this is now getting too consistent in the video. But honestly, at this point, I've got to say, even I didn't expect these matchups to be this one-sided back-to-back. However, I guess the Pencil Woman easily gets the win here. As we all know, the Rage, or even the regular Pencil Woman version compared to this guy, is not even a close one at all. I mean, take for instance her creation ability into consideration, as she could use this to create whatever weapon she needed, and also defend whatever attack that comes her way. I mean, this was even the same character who could make a powerful Titan as strong as the counter Titan to go somewhat serious with her. So you should know the Pencil Woman isn't that easy at all, even without her Rage mode. And even if at all, she manages to sustain any injuries from any unescaped attacks. You have to keep in mind that she could easily regenerate. So yeah, handling this guy would be so easy for our Pencil Mommy. And proceeding to the next fight we have in the wheel, we've got the Super G-Man from the Monster Up series versus the upgraded Camera Titan Dom Studio. In this fight, since it's somehow a close one, both the Super G-Man and the upgraded Camera Titan would be considered to be at their peak state, and not anywhere or any form where they are weak or anything at all, meaning the Super G-Man's X Turbo and 5.0 forms would be the versions of him to be considered here, while the upgraded version of the Camera Titan would also be the one to put up here. So yeah, Super G-Man versus Dom's Camera Titan. Who wins? Well, not gonna lie, the Super G-Man really got some cool fighting weapons and strategies across these different forms, and this had helped him a lot in the series to take on multiple overpowered Titans, like the Siren, Infected TV Titan, Infected Speaker Titan, and many more, and still come out victoriously. However, Dom's Camera Titan, on the other hand, of truth is no one to belittle when it comes to death counts and bullying counts, especially in his upgraded form. And just like the Super G-Man, he also has access to incredible weapons and all that. But speaking of other abilities like speed, G-Man easily beats him hands down, as although agility and durability might be kind of tricky, or better still relative, based on their shown feats so far. And forget about their core blasts and lasers. They are both defensively wise to counter any attacks from those things or anything similar. But so far, the Super G-Man Atomic Slash could completely annihilate anything it comes in contact with. I'm sorry to say, using this might pretty much mean the end for the Camera Titan. Yeah, I know he has a Rage mode, but that wouldn't be enough to defeat a broken opponent like the Super G-Man, since this only boosts his physical strength and makes him multiple times stronger to go hard on opponents only, which the Super G-Man could still definitely withstand or match up his attack standards even in this state. So the Super G-Man takes this round, making it the first battle to be won by these guys. However, moving on to the last matchup in this video, we now have the Apocalypse Jimmy from Dom's Studio versus the Clock Titan. Well, the Clock Titan versus Jimmy wouldn't be a funny one at all, because the last time I checked, only a one-time core release of Jimmy was what totally shattered the 4 Alliance Titans. Yeah, and although that might not be the case with the Clock Titan, considering his massive doings across the series with his time-based ability. But one thing to consider here is that Jimmy is huge, and not only that, as fighting him literally means that you also ready to confront the smaller G-Clones version of him. And let me tell you, these guys are no joke, as not only are they strong opponents, but their AP is also off the chart. But does that mean the Clock Titan wouldn't be getting past this? Well, you see, regardless of all these, you should know the Clock Titan would still definitely perform very well. Yeah, maybe to an extent, but sooner or later, the collective attack of these guys would become a big problem to him. Plus, adding the big Jimmy to the show, who has not even showcased his full potential yet. So yeah, chances of our Clock Titan surviving against these crazy guys is definitely not guaranteed, and it's just a matter of time before he would be taken down. However, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching as always, and do well to check out this video on my channel as well, where I explained all the forms of the Super G-Man in 7 minutes. See ya.